Yes, yes, y'all. Welcome to Office Hours. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. We will get this show on the road here in just a moment here. Excuse me. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Mr. Frederick Clifton, DigiCapitalist, calling it from San Francisco. Awesome. Mr. Frederick Clifton says, snowbound Chicago. That does not sound great to me right now. As I sit here in sunny San Diego. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We will get this show on the road here in just a moment. Just a reminder, these are office hours sessions. I do not have an agenda for you other than to try and answer your questions and help you however I can. So if you have any questions, you can start putting them into the comments there, and I will get to them, generally speaking, in order by which I see them. Also, here in a few minutes, I will put in a chat link for anybody that wants to join me on the call. You can join me on the call on camera, and we can have a conversation. So if you have any questions that are longer, more involved, more complicated, need some context, all that stuff that's going to be hard to do in the chat, please feel free to jump on there with me, and we'll go that way. What is up? Good to see you, sir. Welcome. Jeff, welcome. Harry, welcome. Todd from Nashville, love it. Great town. Dr. Russell Strickland, welcome. Lisa, good morning. Brandon, welcome. Mortgage Works, good morning. All right, let's see here. Moguls, my Moguls members, you have priority as well on questions. If you want to put anything inside of the circle discussion group for Moguls, any questions that you have in there, I will make sure that I address those before the call is over. Sometimes hard to see the questions in the comments, or sometimes we get enough questions that I don't get to all of them here on this live feed. So Moguls, my paid mastermind members, you guys have priority. So I see one question there from Mr. Timothy Miller. I think Timothy, yep, Timothy's on the call though, so I'm going to get to you, Timothy. Awesome. Jeff from Boise, welcome. Hilltop Saul, welcome. Hello. Marco, good afternoon, sir. Or good morning, as the case may be, wherever we're at, or good evening, or whatever. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. I hope everybody's having a great week. Let me fire up some questions here. Mike, love the new R4 sales PowerPoint. Wondering if you will write your best comments for each slide like you did for the presentation. Interesting. I will take a look at that, Mike. I think that generally it's like a little bit of a cheat code, may help some people, so I will take a look at that. Question number 2, do you or the company have a video or cheat sheet on how to get A2P 10 DLC registration easily accomplished? Yes, what I recommend is that you use the Extendly snapshot let me see if I can pull that up for you here real quick. The Extendly free snapshot on this process is, here we go. My friend Tom Tran, member of our Moguls community, dropped it inside of Moguls here. So let me just grab it there. I will put a link to it here in the comments. This is a free snapshot from Extendly. Extendly is a company that provides high-level support services for agencies. So you can hire them to provide support for you, for your customers. They're, high level. They've got a team of high level trained, certified experts to be able to support you and your customers. And that is a free snapshot that guides you essentially through the process. And everybody I know that uses it has good success with it. I know, see, our friends may not be on the call here right now, but they were just saying on our previous call earlier this week that they've used it like 20 or 25 times and have had success every single time. And here's Mauricio saying, I used their snapshot after 3 failed attempts and it worked at the first try. Yeah, so I've heard nothing but good things. So highly recommend that you take advantage of that, okay? This link is in the comments. I'll leave it up here for a moment, though, in case it's something you want to take a screenshot of or jot down or anything like that, but it is in the comments, okay? Let's see here. Next question. Timothy Miller. Oop, I said I would leave that up there. I just took it right down, didn't I? Timothy Miller. Hi, Mike. We're looking to build out our team ASAP. I love it, Timothy. Timothy's been having some good success. Head down, getting the sales done. Good man. What do you recommend as it relates to building a remote team for the following positions? Account manager, a person to manage our existing customers' daily tickets, text marketing campaigns, and new account setup and onboarding, and work as a liaison with our VAs who are experts at Go High Level. And then a sales development rep looking to outsource lead gen, sales qualification activities so we can focus in-house on closing. Thank you in advance. I love it, Timothy. Great questions. Okay, let's tackle the account manager first. So it looks to me like my definition of account manager and your definition of account manager may be a little bit different. So let me just say what I think what makes an account manager versus, let's say, a marketing, fulfillment tech or something like that, right? Somebody who's actually fulfilling the services, because you're mentioning things like text marketing campaigns, new account setup, onboarding, things like that. To me, the person who is responsible for doing that type of stuff is some sort of, marketing tech person, whatever you want to call them, but they are an execution of the actual marketing. Okay. What makes an account manager, again, this is just my perspective, is that person is responsible for the overall success of the relationship of the account. So it sounds like you've got at least some of that in there, because you're saying working as an account, as kind of a liaison with the VAs. So that may be that you're just combining those roles because you're at an early enough stage where you're saying, okay, I've got to have one person doing all this stuff, which is totally normal and totally fine. Okay, implementation manager. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this as an account manager first, Timothy. So as an account manager, again, that person who's the overall responsibility for the account, I really like that being somebody that is relatively close to you. That doesn't mean that they can't be a remote. I just mean relatively close to you, as in, probably in the United States, and working, the same hours as you, generally working the same hours as most of your customers. So can still be remote, but I think that because of the level of relationship responsibility that they have with your customers, I think that that's important to have somebody that's like really, actively engaged. You can reach them when you need to. You have fast communication with them. Your customers can reach them when they need to. Because I think that relationship that you have with them needs to be very proactive and thorough, right? I need to treat that person as if they're, full-time member of my team and they have very important responsibilities. So I need to have regular communication with them to keep them up to date on things that are going on with the company, to address concerns at particular customers, to make sure we're hiring the right talent to be able to fulfill the services, all that good stuff. So again, can be remote. You just want to have them close, right? And close, not necessarily physical proximity, but in pretty much every other way. Okay. So let's separate that from a person who is an implementation. So marketing implementation, making campaigns happen, all that type of stuff. Almost all of that could be done by anyone, anywhere, at just about any time of day, as long as they don't have to have direct communication with the customer while they're doing it, right? So if you've got that account manager that's having the direct communication, and then everything else that's happening is happening behind the scenes, this is the way I've always structured my service teams, is, you have an account manager. That's the person that you talk to if you need to talk to somebody. And then the account manager talks to our team. And that account manager may decide at some point or another, hey, I'm going to bring in my text messaging campaign manager onto the call so we can talk to that person directly and hear how they're doing these campaigns. But generally, 90% of the conversation just goes from client to account manager, customer to account manager. Okay. So those implementation people then can, like I said, they can be pretty much anywhere, anytime. And I love, just as an example, I've got my team in the Philippines that I've had for years and years and years. They are fantastic. They, at this point, know HighLevel inside and out. They are, completely responsible, reliable, excellent communicators, are within all of my systems. So they're using Slack, they're using Asana, they're using HighLevel, obviously. So, and they can, all of my emails that go out to you guys get scheduled by them. And, I don't know what time of day they're working and when they're scheduling and stuff like that. I don't care. As long as it gets done and they get it done. And that's the kind of way that you can build your team as well for doing that behind the scenes implementation work if you've structured it that way. Okay. So that's my 2 cents worth on there. And I'm happy to, try and follow up on any, good details that you may need. In terms of the sales development rep, so looking to outsource lead gen, sales qualification activities so you can focus on in-house closing. I think that's fantastic, Timothy. I think that's a great structure. I think that it sounds like you have clarity as to that role really just needs to be about lead generation and qualification, which that's all I would expect from those people. And it's so important. People hire these remote, cold call salespeople, and they think that they're going to be, generating business for them. And that's really, really not likely to happen. And it's not their role. Their role is either to drum up interest and make sure it's qualified interest so that you can then take that sales opportunity and run with it. Or if you're doing a bunch of inbound marketing, and so you're doing a bunch of lead generation, then you could have somebody who, yes, they can hop on a phone and qualify and close, right? You got a nice, simple offer, nice, simple presentation. You can have that salesperson take those inbound leads and do that remotely, no problem. But there's a difference between a salesperson and a cold caller who is for prospecting and for qualification, okay? Two totally different people. Sometimes cold callers, grow to become good salespeople, but very often not. And most of the time, good salespeople these days are terrible at doing cold calling. They don't want to do it. They expect inbound leads. So if you're having somebody do outbound lead generation and qualification activities for you, that person could be anywhere, again, but they need to work the hours that are necessary to be able to reach your prospects. And I think I am still sensitive to the fact that depending, and that, this is a depends thing. Like if you're selling into San Francisco or you're selling into New York or whatever, this is less of an issue. But if you're selling into relatively smaller town Texas, I think, accents matter still. So, where is that person calling from? How thick is their accent? What is their accent? How good is their English? All that type of stuff, I think really, really matters if you are calling into a lot of just kind of middle America towns. And for those of you who are on calls from wherever, Australia, Europe, whatever, you've got your own degree of this, right? Some parts of countries are more sensitive to all this stuff. Others are not. So I think you just got to make a decision there. In my experience, I prefer to just keep all of these people US based. And I love finding stay-at-home moms for these jobs. I have always found to be fantastic for a number of reasons. One, I think I think women do a good job of getting people on the phone. I just think that A lot of people are just more receptive, it seems like, to getting a call from a woman. That's just my experience. That's not meant to be sexist in any way or anything like that. It's just my experience in hiring lots of salespeople. I also think that there's just a ton of really, really, really talented women out there who are prioritizing, being home with their kids, needing flexibility, all that type of stuff, which awesome. So a job where they can hop on the phone for you for 3 hours at a time, be off for a couple hours, hop on the phone again for a few hours at a time, and they've got a compensation structure with you that you're cool with that, they're cool with that, it works. I have found to be just really, really, really fantastic. So that's my 2 cents worth there. I actually just read an article yesterday or the day before about how the VC-backed SaaS industry selling to SMBs, so selling to small and medium-sized businesses, has pretty much decided that sales forces have to be outside of the United States. Sales forces at any sort of scale have to be outside of the United States. And the number one place that they're getting salespeople from tend to be like Latin American countries. And the reasons why are time zone issues are pretty good. Accents and knowledge of English can be really good. And they are, just significantly cheaper than hiring people in the United States. And so to do sales at scale when you're selling to small, medium-sized businesses with these much lower price points versus selling to enterprise, they've pretty much just decided like that's the only way to go about it to be able to scale in any meaningful way. So that might be something that you look into, and I'm 100% certain, I know because I've seen them, that there are sales staffing agencies and stuff like that, or outsourced cold calling, sales qualification businesses based in those countries that are designed to service the United States and service businesses that are doing B2B sales. So I would definitely check those out. Okay. Kai is asking where the link is. Here you go, Kai. I'm going to answer some more questions in the chat here, though, before we go there. All right, let's see here. Oh, hello from Three Rivers, Quebec. Awesome. All right, let's see. Probably a simple question, Jeff says. I want to use your foot in the door suggestion of the free website plus $97 for hosting. I'm still a bit not clear on the actual delivery of the website. What to give them upon delivery. Okay, Jeff, so you are going to give them a fully designed, fully functioning live website that's hosted up on the interwebs for everybody to see and people to use. So that is the primary delivery. The secondary delivery is that on that website, you should have a call tracking number. You should have lead capture forms. You should have a chat widget. You're probably going to have a calendar integration going. All of those things that make that website a really effective marketing tool. And so then that is going to put that customer into HighLevel for you. Okay, and that's the ninja strategy there, right? Is that we're using that as a foot in the door to get them into HighLevel and using more of HighLevel and investing more into the platform. So then, Jeff, once that website is live, you're going to take them and you're going to show them the universal conversations feature, the universal inbox, I call it, but it's the conversations feature inside of HighLevel. We're going to say, hey, look, now anybody who's coming in as a lead on your website, or they are chatting on the widget, or they are messaging you on your social platforms, are all going to show up here. And you now got CRM capability and pipeline capability, and you got task management and stuff like that. So you've got all those capabilities here in the system that your website is now, as you can see, a functional part of your marketing and sales and lead generation process. It's not just a brochure up on the internet, right? So you're also going to give them that. So now you've got this awesome, again, website you're giving them, but they are also now into the software, using the software, so that you are then starting to work them into, not all of them, but a percentage of them, work them into a higher paying and more complete customer of yours, so that they're going to be very sticky. Okay. I hope that that helps. Let me know any additional questions on that. I'm happy to answer. Okay. Let's see here. Patrick says, I joined your team December 31st, was busy. I want to start my SaaS now, but so many emails, don't know where to start from scratch. Patrick, just jump into the high leverage agency. And in the high leverage agency, there's going to be a roadmap for you. And that roadmap is going to tell you the handful of things to do at the very beginning, which is to get your account set up with HighLevel completely, do their onboarding, go through my agency sales funnel bootcamp, which is where you're going to set up your sales process using my snapshot. And that's going to give you a really, really good walkthrough of the core features, or not all the core features, but many of the core features and capabilities of HighLevel that you need to understand. And put you in a position where you can now start prospecting and selling, because you've got something live, there to use. So that's what I would recommend. One of those emails that you got from me is an email that asks you to choose between high leverage agency or MSP Academy. In 98% of cases, it's high leverage agency. So I recommend you jump in there. If you have any questions, once you're in there, of course, you just let me know, and I can direct you to the appropriate resources. Okay. Brandon says, question, would love to offer the white label mobile app feature right away. Does it make sense to wait until I have a few clients under my belt to cover the cost? I mean, probably, Brandon. I mean, it's a nice to have. It's not a must have. You can use, so there's the gray label version of the mobile app, right? Which is the Lead Connect version of the app. So you can have your customers using that in the meantime, and then just flip over as soon as you're ready to, make the investment. What is it? Additional $4.97 a month to have the have your own white label app. So I would recommend it. I don't think that the branding on the mobile app is like, it's not in any way like any deal breaker or anything like that. Like I said, it's nice to have. It's nice consistency and stuff like that with your brand, but I would just do that as soon as you feel like it makes sense financially, for sure, in my opinion. Ready to build my own system as a service. Awesome. My problem is that I've not figured out the offer yet. Really need some course info and consultant to do that. That is what high leverage agency is all about. So I would just jump into that. So either sign up for HighLevel with me and you get it for free, or upgrade your plan in HighLevel through me and you get it for free, or you can just invest in the program and get it. That's at servicesthatscale.com/HLA. If you just want to invest in it straight away, like if you're already a high level customer and you can't upgrade or anything like that, then you just go there, servicesthatscale.com/HLA. Okay. And what I do in there, just so you know, is I give you a particular approach to creating your system as a service using my R4 framework, my R4 Surge to SaaS. You can certainly then, as you get, not only can you, I would expect that what you would do with that then is take it and customize it and make it yours based on who you're selling to, based on the knowledge and experience that you have, that you can then bake into the assets that are part of that system. And you don't have to do that day one. You can just take my approach and follow my approach day one. But as you get experience in the marketplace, you're going to want to, continue to refine that to make it more what we call your signature system, your unique system, so that yours is different from mine, different from Kai's and Andrew's and Ryan's and Kyle's. What's up, Kyle? Good to see you, my man. That guy's sneaking on there. Awesome. So let's see here. Where do we write questions and moguls? Inside of the circle group in the moguls discussion. Okay. So that is, where moguls can put their questions. Let's hear. Harry has a question inside of Moguls. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick, and I'll share just to share where that is. So if you are a Moguls member, this is where you're going to do it right here. Harry says, I have 3 foot in the door services in the process of building. First one will be a free website build. Awesome. Next are Google GBP, Google Business Profile, I'm assuming, optimization, and then review services. We'll initially offer those without showing or explaining any other high-level marketing tools. I figure these foot in the doors will take us 3 months to get done, including tutorials, fulfillment SOPs for our VAs, whom we already have. I also have 2,000 plus warm tree care prospects in an industry directory we've built, as well as scraped suspect lists for cold email, which works well for us. Awesome. Once the foot in the doors are built, we want to create the HighLevel snapshot full of marketing processes, workflows, assets in the back room, and then offer regular access to HighLevel to any of our customers. Your approach to this was an eye-opener. Awesome. We're doing it this building block way so we can laser focus on building the foot in the doors, our marketing campaigns for this first, before we expand services with full-blown marketing systems. Do you see any pitfalls in us first not offering the full high-level set of tools and features along with our foot in the doors? This would only be for 3 to 6 months this year. After that, we expect we can offer the full-blown array of services you described. Cool. I like it. I like how thoughtful you are being to the approach, Harry. I think that's great. So the only things that I worry about are the time frame to get these done. And I think that that's because you're doing 3 of them at a time. I would personally recommend that you just take one and run with it and get it done, and then be working on the second one as soon as you can, as soon as you have capacity. But I would like to see you selling as soon as humanly possible, rather than I'm going to build, and then there's going to be this day in the future that I'm going to sell. I'm not a big fan of that for a handful of reasons. The most obvious one is just cash flow. You may be in a position that it doesn't matter to you, and that's totally fine. But the bigger reason, honestly, is that I just think that the real world customer feedback that you get from selling is like the most valuable thing in the world. So if within 2 days, Harry, you could take the pitch of what you're building to sell, and you could start selling it. Start making that pitch. How are people responding to it? What questions are you getting? What adjustments can you make? You're going to get that at some point or another. I'd rather you get it month 1 than month 4. Okay. Otherwise, I like what you're doing. So the second part of the question as to whether or not you should offer the full services right away, that type of thing. So Harry, I don't recall specifically, I apologize, whether or not you were on the boot camp this week. So if you were, and here, let me just pull up for everybody's benefit here. We can just do this. So if you were inside of my service package design worksheet here, if you go to this right here, all reputation to resell, all reputation to resell, all reputation to resell, right? So these are all the exact same features that you're offering to each plan. It's just how many credits and how many team members are available to access it. You can sell this if you go and you look at the reputation and resell packages or features, a high level that I suggest that you include in there. These are very tool based. So these are really like features of the software of HighLevel. Except for if you look over here under the resell, you have these campaigns that I suggest that you build out for them, actual reactivation, resell, maybe birthday, anniversary campaigns, things like that. Everything else, though, can be like completely just using the tools themselves. So if you're really comfortable with the tools and you're really comfortable that there are, or you're the customers that you're serving and the services that you're offering, if you look at these features and you go, yeah, you know what, day one, it would make a lot of sense and they would be much happier customers if we offered these 3 things in there too. I think it's a very low risk thing to just go ahead and include those in there as early as possible as, your upsell into your base plan, so essentially into, if we just said, even if it was just this plan right here, so you got a $297 a month upsell type of thing. I think that there's very little risk in that. You don't have to include all of those campaign assets and things like that just yet. So you could add that as an upgrade, the surprise upgrade that happens, 2 months into it or something like that. That again, that's up to you and kind of how comfortable you feel with that service delivery and stuff like that. But I think that is one way to consider it. Okay, cool, Harry. Awesome. So Harry, then hopefully you remember this portion of the conversation here that, I think that you can do that. It doesn't have to be the whole kit and caboodle. It doesn't have to be all of the written out campaigns already and all the perfect landing pages and stuff like that. You can just give them more access to the tools themselves to use. So something for you to consider. I don't think that there's necessarily a right or wrong there. I feel like it's, you spend some time on it, determine where you feel like you're comfortable, what you're going to be able to support, all that good stuff. Okay. Timothy Miller. Oh yeah, we talked about that already. Yep. Considering hiring a high-level expert to help set up some well thought out automations and workflows to get moving faster. Is this a good path to be on? Brandon, it is not necessarily a bad path. It is not my path. And the reason I say that is I just think that you will benefit, Brandon, a ton. Like if you just get in and use the R4 snapshot, there's plenty in that R4 snapshot for you to get your website launched, to get your sales process launched, to have your follow-up campaigns, to have your meeting campaigns, to have all that stuff in there. All you have to do is customize it. So I would love to see you just jump in there and do that and get really familiar with the system and get really familiar with, even if you hate the R4 sales snapshot and you want to completely customize it and change it, great, go to town. You're going to learn a ton from you hands-on doing that. I think that if you spend the first, at a bare minimum, I think everybody who's an agency who is using HighLevel as the foundation of building out their services and stuff like that, I think every single one of you, in my opinion, take that first 90 days and be up to your eyeballs in HighLevel. Just be up to your eyeballs in it. Use it every day, press every button, turn every screw, test everything, break some stuff, because you're going to develop so much knowledge and confidence that it's really going to serve you well. If you passively hand off that stuff to somebody else, I think you're always going to be in a little bit of a disadvantage. And I'm not saying that you can't get help, Brandon. I'm not saying that you can't pass that off eventually. You should, because then you'll be focused on just selling. But I do think that in the beginning, doing that stuff is super valuable for you. Okay. Kai, my man, how are you?
Dude, my business is it's the last week has been insane, dude. Can you hear me okay?
Oop. Seems like your connection may be bad. Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me okay? Oh, Jesus.
Oop.
Dude.
I can't hear you, Kai.
Hello?
No. Something's not coming. Hold on. I'm going to put Andrew's on here. Can I hear you okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear Kai as well.
Okay, it's a little bit choppy on my end. It seems like for everybody. That's not good.
Oh yeah, am I choppy?
Shoot. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm getting choppy sound from I'm getting choppy sound. Let me try Kai again. Kai, let me hear you.
Hello. Testing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I can hear you
it's gotta
fine.
be something on my end.
great, man. That's so weird.
Yeah, because everybody's.
Dude, finally, it's my mom, not us, bro.
So, sorry about that. Let's give it a couple of minutes. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and refresh my screen. So give me 1 second here, and I'll be right back. And then I'm going to remove you guys just for a couple of minutes. Let's just see if we can get the connection better, and then I'll come back to doing the live chats here. Hold on 1 second. Let me just do a reload. I may get kicked out for a minute and then come back. Okay, I am back. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me, Anders, I'm going to bring you back in. Or wait, there's Kai. Kai, let's try it again, buddy.
Oh, hello.
Shit.
Hello.
Sorry. Let me do some more. I'll do some more Q&A out of the comments here, guys. I'm sorry, and hopefully something. I don't know. I got a bug in my interwebs or something like that. Let's just give it a few minutes, and hopefully it sorts itself out here. All right, let me go back to Q&A in the chat here. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Timothy. Hey, everybody be more like Timothy. He's getting out and getting after it, and it makes me so happy every time I see him at the HighLevel Summit. He's like, dude, we added whatever X tens of thousands or 6 figures a month in recurring revenue. He's getting out there and getting after it. And I think it's really just execution. Like, he's just going. So everybody be more like him. Okay, Anders, I'm going to get back to you in just a moment. See, Mike says the company in the 5-day challenge is only suggesting missed call to text back at 297. Do you think this is doable, or stick with what you teach in a high leverage agency, a more robust fast start package 97 as we choose? Okay, Mike. Not to be dismissive of the I can't remember. I don't know who it is in the 5-day challenge right now suggesting missed call text back at 297. There's nothing wrong with that. And can you sell that just as it is? Absolutely. And is it valuable? Absolutely. Do I think that it is the best strategy for you to be just selling missed call text back and that's it at 297 a month? No, I do not think that. The reason why I do not think that is because you have a much stronger value proposition that you can make that is no additional cost to you, will create more connection with the customer, will add more value for the customer, and will create longer term, more successful relationships, I believe. Now, here's a big reason why this whoever it is that's suggesting this is suggesting this. They're suggesting this because many of you get so overwhelmed that you're not taking action. And so if that's the case, if you can be honest with yourself and be like, man, I can't get my hands around all this stuff and I just need to start selling and generating some money and taking some action and getting momentum, then pick a damn thing and sell it. And if it's missed call text back at 297 or it's free websites at 97 or whatever the heck it is, go for it. You just need to get into action mode. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. Do I think it's the best thing? No. But is there anything wrong with that? No. And if that's where you are, hit the ground running. Jump out of bed tomorrow and sell a missed call text back at 297 a month every damn day for the rest of, until you're confident enough to expand from there. Or maybe you say, Mike, those guys were right. I don't need to expand from there. I'm crushing it. Awesome. Come here and let me know. So that's just my 2 cents worth. Okay. Let's hear. Kai says, Mike, what do you do if you do Google reviews and website, but your client just isn't ranking on Google and therefore doesn't think you're doing anything for them? Kai, this is why I never, ever, ever, ever lead with an SEO value proposition personally. I have never led with an SEO value proposition because I hate the variability and out of control feeling of SEO, because it is out of control. As much as anybody wants to tell you that they're in control, the reality is Google decides to change how they're ranking things tomorrow. They decide to change things and you're out of control again. And in particular, right now, Google is going to go through massive changes when it comes to SEO, because AI is just gonna completely upend their world. So I hate to tell you that that's my answer, but you are not the first person to fall victim to, hey, I'm working my hiney off, it's just not doing anything for you. It's super, super common in the agency space from people who decided to take the SEO route. So my answer to you is I would not make that your only value proposition. I would make sure that you have a bunch of other stuff that you're doing for them, so that the SEO part of it is, hey, we're doing our work. We can show you we're doing our work, but this takes time. And honestly, it's Google's determination as to what ranks. So we only have so much influence over it, but we're doing our best. We're following best practices. But look over here, right? Look at all this cool stuff you're getting over here. That would be my suggestion. So I'm sorry that stinks. Service methodology. Case studies? No, I cannot give you case studies. I mean, other than my own, I can give you my case studies, but let's see here. Where exactly are websites in Go High Level? You just go to sites, Jeff. Here, hold on. Let me just go here inside of services at scale real quick. Oh, sorry, I got to share my. So this is just inside of my services at scale account, inside of High Level. Here it's sites, and then you got funnels, and then you got websites right here. And you can see I got a few different websites right here, but man, I'll tell you what, their websites have gotten more and more awesome. All of their templates have. So if you just go over here, go to templates, anybody can be in the website business, today, right? So I want to put something together for this tour agency. We can do a preview of it. Let me see it. I don't know if can you guys see the preview on these? When it's a pop-up like that? Yeah, you guys can see it, right? So you've got all of these templates in there. So here we've got a travel review, or tour operator business. There you go. Hit go, and look, you can see they got the custom values and stuff incorporated in here. Be in the website business today, everybody. So there you go. Nice, easy button. Super easy button, man. I love it. Kai says, I just closed 7 clients this week, 1,500 recurring, terrified I won't deliver the right result. I set the wrong expectation. Website, auto call, text back, Google reviews. Kai, all of those things sound great. Just don't make promises around the ranking. That's the tough part. You can say all of the other things. We're going to make sure you have a best-in-class website. It's going to have all of the things that you need to generate leads. Make sure that people can contact you. Make sure that you're not losing out on opportunities because stuff is not set up properly. We're going to make sure it's got the right structure so that Google likes it from a mobile perspective, which is super important. We're going to make sure it's responsive and fast, which is super important. We can make sure that all of your information is updated all around the interwebs, right? So we're going to make sure it's accurate everywhere, which is incredibly important to Google. So we're going to do all the things that Google wants to see for your business that currently right now you're not doing. I mean, that's activities versus results, okay? Tattoo that on your forehead right now. So when you see it in the mirror every day, you remember me. It's activities versus results has served me so well in this industry, because the reality is your small business customers, there is just shit they need to be doing that they are not doing. So forget results for a minute, just activities. Are you sending a newsletter out? Are you responding to the messages that you're getting from prospects? Are you answering the phone when you're supposed to be answering the phone, right? There's all these things that just need to be done that aren't being done. Will results follow from those? Yes. But for the most part, It is just your job to set up the proper tools, resources, all that good stuff. And then sometimes services as well, if you want to take it that far, to allow them to actually execute the activities that need to be done. So in other words, if you set up, HighLevel and you show them how to build an email list and you show them, you get all their contacts in there and you give them some pretty newsletter templates, they may still not send newsletters. Okay. And you can have a service where you're just providing the resources and you're providing some training and stuff, but hey, look, you guys got to send your newsletters. Or you can have a management service on top of that where you say, hey, look, you're not going to get your newsletters out the door every day because you don't have a marketing team. We will actually send the newsletters out for you. That's what I did. I took on a management approach where we actually did the social posting. We sent the newsletters, all that stuff. We updated their website with blog posts. That stuff is easy to do if you decide that's what you want to do is take that on for them. But it's just activities. I'm going to send your newsletter every week. I'm not going to guarantee you that newsletter is going to generate measurable ROI. That's too much to take on for a small business. I'm going to post fresh content. Google likes fresh content, but I can't guarantee that Google is going to rank you in the top 10. I mean, that's not my promise to make. So I hope that helps you, Kai. And you may have to backtrack on some of those, but that's all right. It's only 7. It's a great start, but the next 25, you'll get it right. I'm using custom values on a website that shows certain information to the customer, but does not seem to be displaying the information. Any insight works in the emails. You probably might almost certainly just have something wrong with like an extra space or something like that in the custom value. That happens all the time. It's happened so many times. Like if you cut and paste that custom value from someplace else and put it in there, sometimes for whatever reason, you get an extra space in there, things like that. You probably just need to go and mess around with it. So, all right, let's try this again. Anders, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
No.
Am I choppy? I'm all choppy?
Still choppy.
Bummer. Well, I wrote a thing in the comments. Tried to sum up part of what I'm working on.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anything.
Ah.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. If you wouldn't mind, guys, make sure Anders, Kyle, Russell, Ryan, that you're putting questions in the chat. I will do my best to address them. I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. Is everything translatable, editable if we want to use it for the French community? Michelle, yes. And actually, let me backtrack on that a little bit. I know that HighLevel has international language translation. I know that they are aggressively rolling that out. I have not personally verified that it's available in French as of today. So I believe it is. If there's anybody on the call that wants to say, yep, for sure, great. But I believe it is. Okay. Does it make sense if we offer web chat as our foot in the door for $97 a month? My concern is the text message fee since I'm only charging $97. Yeah, so no problem. So what you do is you just do this. Actually, here, let me go back to give me 1 second. Let me just get over to so in these service plans, though, in this document, so you can see here, you've just got so many credits, right? And then if somebody goes beyond the credits, then they have to pay you. So you build in the protection of those minutes into the plan. You control when does somebody get charged extra because they're using a certain number of credits. That's the beauty of the SaaS technology of HighLevel. Okay, so shoot, hold on 1 second here, guys. I was just going to show you the SaaS builder real quick so that you know exactly where to set that up. But yes, that is the beauty and power of the SaaS capabilities built into HighLevel. So you've got to make sure that you have the right plan to be able to set up that capability in HighLevel. And I recommend everybody get on Pro as soon as you have any inkling that you're going to have a customer. I suggest that you get on Pro. And the reason why I say that is because of all of these capabilities that we're talking about, and you're just going to make more money. So, take advantage of that as soon as you possibly can. And I understand if your budget is tight and you don't want to sign up for Pro right away, it's totally fine. Get in there, learn to understand the system and everything, and then upgrade to Pro as you're actually, like I said, getting some customers on board. Okay, so. But let's just go in here real quick. So this is inside of the SaaS builder, okay? And you can add 20 different service packages in here now, which is awesome. And if you just go in here and just do edit details, and you can see, go through these options right up here, okay? So you can say, hey, I want to limit this to one user at the $97 plan and 300 contacts. And then in terms of the features, here's all the features I want to have in there. You can add or remove certain features, okay? And then trial period and credits. So right here, you can give them credits upon signing up, and you can add additional credits, like $10 worth a month of credits in that $97 plan, or whatever number you want to do. You can just go whoop, whoop, like that type of thing. But you can make that whatever you want. And then rebilling. So in the rebilling right here, you can determine the rates at which you rebill. So once somebody goes over their credits, then they start getting billed for that additional usage. I always recommend at least a 3 times markup here. That gives you 67% gross margins. And you can see for that $10, and this number doesn't change. So FYI, here, let me just show you what I mean by that. If I go back to this trials and credits, so let's say I decide I want to give them $25 in credits. When I go back to this, it's still going to be $10. So this is just an example. So you're going to have to do a little bit of math in your head that if you wanted to offer $25 in credits, well, then I would multiply this by 2.5 to get a $25 version of what these credits cover. So, you are giving people a certain amount of use of the system, but that then limits your financial exposure, because once you have somebody go over those, then they start getting billed, and you start making margin on that additional billing that you're doing. Okay. Ooh. You guys hearing that sound? Is that just me? There's something just going on with the sound on the system here. I don't know what's going on. All right, hold on one second, guys. I'm going to try and change my speaker. Maybe that'll do something. I'm getting crazy sound issues coming out of here. Let me try and change my microphone, see if that'll do anything. Nope. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a refresh here again and see if we can get this fixed up. Yeah, the bomb is about to go off. I know there's something just going on with the computer, I guess. What the heck is happening? I'll look for anything on my computer that says it's making sounds. Let's see, anything? Sorry, guys. Just continue to check here. All right. I am going to leave and come back. Okay, I will be back. You're gonna have to give me like 60 seconds here, though. Okay, sorry, I will be back. All right, I'm back. How we doing? Is it working? Can you guys hear me? Loud and clear. Awesome. Anders, I'm going to try and put you in here. Let's see if we can do this.
Oh, hey now.
Oh,
Are we in?
hey.
Can you hear me?
We're working.
Nice. All right,
So-
cool. Well,
So sorry about that, everybody. Apparently my computer completely melted down on me. So that was the source of the issues.
yeah. All right, cool. Well, good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome. Thanks for your patience. How can I help you?
Yeah, no worries. Well, so I typed a little thing into the chat, so I guess you can ignore that now.
Okay.
I'm just getting started, and I feel like I've got nothing but questions.
Yeah, I got you.
So-
There's a lot. It's
Yeah,
overwhelming.
it's a lot. It's a lot. But you know, the GHL support is amazing.
Great.
So I've been talking to them pretty much every day. There does seem to be a bit of an issue since I'm on a trial plan. They don't really give you the same kind of support as when you're not on the trial plan.
Got it.
Yeah, so it seems like I probably want to do that. Would you agree? Get
Yeah,
off
I
the
mean,
trial.
if you're committed to the business, I mean, I would just go for it. It's, I mean, it's yeah, I would just jump in.
Yeah, yeah, and then also I get access to the high leverage agency after I get off of the trial.
Correct.
Yeah, do you go into a lot of technical stuff in that, or is that primarily like high level, like more businessy?
I try and stick primarily to sales and marketing and growth strategy because I feel like the technical stuff you can get pretty much anywhere. I mean, I get the technical stuff from just hopping on their YouTube channel and just doing searches for videos. Like that's how I get the technical stuff. So
Yeah.
that I try not to repeat that too much.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, well, so the big challenge right now is just getting the snapshot set up.
Yeah.
So it took me a little while to figure out that I needed to load it onto my profile.
Yep.
And I'm trying to just kind of unpack things, and I'm using your, what is it called? Sales funnel.
Agency sales funnel bootcamp.
Yeah, so I'm working on that, but I to be honest, I'm kind of like, it's not really working for me. Like I'm not really like getting it. Like what I see on your screen on those tutorials is not what I see on my screen. So
that does not surprise me one bit because I don't record new videos every time we update the snapshot. So
yeah. So those are probably a couple of years old, right?
Yeah, there's a degree of got to follow along just kind of conceptually.
Yeah. Well, so my two questions there are number one, like unpacking that snapshot. That's more or less what you do when you onboard a client or a customer, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. So I really have to get good at that, and I have to understand what's in there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty essential. So, I mean, I could do it with probably the GHL support or even Extendly. But the question is like, do you have like just like a checklist I can look at to make sure I'm getting all the points and, I'm not missing anything?
I don't, other than just what's an agency sales funnel bootcamp, just kind of taking you through like, hey, set up this first, this second, this third. So in terms of like, let me just jump into real quick. Let me go to the R4 snapshot. So, and let me clarify, Anders, I want to make sure that when you say that's what we set up when we get a new customer, it would not be the R4 snapshot. It would be whatever snapshot you've created or bought or whatever that you are then using for your customers. So the R4 is for you. It's for the agency to use. For your own business.
So, yeah, that's good to know.
So the R4 is an agency. It's agency sales process assets is what the R4 is. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So let me just do a high level, pun intended, walkthrough really quickly. So a snapshot, first of all, let's just cover that real quick. I'm sure there's some other people on here that can benefit from it. A snapshot is just a picture, literally, of all of the assets that you have in an account. So I have set up this R4 sales system account, sub account inside of my HighLevel, and I've loaded it up with all of the assets that you need as an agency to create your sales process. So then what I do is I just take a picture of that account, and now I've got a link, and anybody else who wants to put that in our HighLevel can just take that link and say, yes, take all of the assets that are in there and put it into my account, or some of the assets you get to choose as you go through the process. So that's all that a snapshot is it's just taking a picture of everything that's in an account and saying, great, now put it into a new account. Okay. So inside of the R4 snapshot in particular, and this is true of almost all snapshots, is that just about everything in here is just the same high level tools. There's not, in most of these things that you're looking at, it's just going to be the high level tool. What is different in a snapshot, or what is included in a snapshot that tends to make it special, which is what you will be creating for your customers as well, is email campaign templates. So you've got all these email campaign templates right here. Any sort of communication templates right here, which are used in text messaging, you can see right here. And then in automation, any workflows that you've created for them to manage the sales process or any other process that you put in place for them. So all the automation. And then under sites, any funnels and website templates in particular that you've provided for them. Any forms that you've created as part of, and any surveys that you've created as part of the set of resources that you're giving them. That's pretty much what's going to make a snapshot special versus just loading up a naked high level account. The final thing then to point out is really custom values. So in custom values, this is where you're going to get all those dynamic fields that you've set up to populate throughout the system. So you're going to see throughout the snapshot when you go to set it up that there's going to be all these custom values that are included throughout the assets. And this is where you're going to come and update those custom values right here so that they populate throughout the system. So when you have a webinar join link, a Zoom link, you would put that Zoom link here so that now anybody who gets any webinar emails or text from you or whatever is going to get that Zoom link automatically included. So that's the snapshot. So what you're doing in the agency sales funnel bootcamp is you've set up your general account, all that good stuff. Again, that's not the stuff I try and repeat because you can just do that with HighLevel. But then you're just going through and you're making sure that you've gone through the email templates and you said, yep, this email template says what I want it to say. I'm happy with it. All good. Mike wrote a good email. And then you're just uploading or you're updating where there are custom values to make sure that it's got the right information in here. So the support email, the phone number that you're using, your logo, all that stuff, you're going to update all of that by just going and setting up the custom values in here. So these custom values, you're just going to fill in the right information over here on the right. And that's going to then populate in all of those emails, landing pages, all that type of stuff, anywhere that we're using the custom values so that you've got the right information throughout the system. But you're doing that. You're going through and making sure the content is good. You're going through and just reviewing these workflows. I mean, I've created the workflows for you, but you go through and review them. And, theoretically, you could tweak them, tune them, make some changes to them based on what you want them to do. But if you're new, I would count on that from day one. And then there was
a little bit of, there is some question with the R4 if we're talking about getting the agency set up. Some of those things, like some of those workflows, I didn't really know kind of when to use them, like what they mean exactly and what they apply to, so that's part of the challenge at the moment.
Okay.
But I think I understand. I think I understand all the setup. I mean, thank you for going through that. I think I understand that. I did set up my website and my domain, which by the way is called DigiCapitalist. What do you think?
I like it.
I'm repurposing that. Actually, I started that as a blog. Basically, I wanted to do like AI and affiliate stuff, and anyway, that didn't work out at all. But
I like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. You like it? All right, cool. All right. So, but I could do a lot of that onboarding for myself and for customers in the future with GHL support.
No, you would do
No.
you will do the onboarding for your account with GHL support. When it comes to setting up your customers, that's not Go HighLevel support job. That's your job. You could hire like an Extendly that I talked about earlier in this call. That's what they do is they will, like, if you have a snapshot, you say, here's my snapshot that I like to use with all my customers. They have a service where they will take that snapshot, they'll manage it, they'll make sure it gets installed properly for a customer, you get a new account set up, things like that.
Okay. All right. So I'm responsible for like knowing what I can offer to customers and like in building out those
Correct.
those routines within the system. I did read, I think, on their website, on Extendly's website, that they only work with their snapshots. Is that not correct? Yeah, I know they provide snapshots, and it seemed to me they only offered support for the snapshots that they build.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that. The relationship I was creating with them was using my snapshot, but maybe that's like a custom situation. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll work on that. It's like a huge project, and thank you for saying 90 days to master it, because I'm like 30 days for this seems like, wow, that's like, but 90 days up to my eyeballs, that sounds more accurate given the the scope of this task. Does that mean would you not recommend selling anything before you're really expert in everything?
No, that's not. My approach personally is I like to start selling. As soon as I've got my hands around the big picture, I like to start selling. And when I say the big picture, I mean really the value proposition and generally how I'm going to fulfill on the value proposition. Because there's a sales cycle. I mean, you could be, selling for the next 60 days before you get your customer. So I recommend that you start selling so that you can be learning while you are managing that sales cycle. There's a lot of people in this community that are not comfortable with that because they have more of a perfectionist mindset of, I got to master step 1 before I go to step 2. It's not my recommendation. My recommendation is that you start selling. But
just get in, Well, I thought I'd start with friends. I've got one friend. Yeah, I figured I would just offer free onboarding and then just be like, hey, if it, like, I'm learning, so if it adds value to you, then you can pay me and we can talk about that. But first things first, just get them on and see if I can set it up and figure it all out and get them to kind of, figure it out for themselves. So my big thing is I have sort of a marketing background a little bit. I mean, not really. I'm sorry, long story. I got into it recently, a couple of years ago, started an online business, got into copywriting and been doing that. And seeing your videos, man, has been like a total game changer because I've been realizing in the agency model, like there's no way to scale that. And, so I took this email copywriting course last year and I was like pretty psyched about it because I like writing and that was kind of what my business was based on. And I got one client. I'm like, there's no way I could have 10 of these. Like, not a chance. It's a total hustle and a pain in the ass. But my question is like, I cannot figure out for the life of me, and I've just got so many questions. Like, I don't even know where to start. But this one is really nagging me. Like, what do you do about customers when they need to be serviced, when things go wrong, when they don't get it? When a system needs to be changed or updated or whatever. Like, what do you do about that?
You provide the service. So if you were following my systems as a service model, and so like you get into high leverage agency and you buy into that whole concept of systems as a service, you are selling to a systems buyer, not a tools buyer. And so you've probably seen that in some of my presentations and videos, right? So a tools buyer is somebody that can just sit down and just use HighLevel. They don't need you. Maybe once a year they have some sort of technical issue with the system that they're going to call you on and say, hey, I need help with the software, just like me using any other software platform, right? But the customers that you, in my opinion, should be selling to are systems buyers. And that I define as somebody who says, man, I need the system working for me, but I'm a pizza guy. I don't have time to become a marketing guy or a tech guy. So I need somebody that sets up the system and helps me manage that system. So that is part of the value proposition that you are offering is you're not just getting tools, you're getting tools. Plus I've created this 7-step campaign for you that sells more pizza. And I've created this upsell campaign and this referral campaign and this VIP loyalty program. And it's all built into this system for you so that you have the best practices of a very successful pizza marketer being used at your business. So it's the tools that enable that to happen, plus it's all the campaigns and strategies that I have created and managed and continue to update for you. So that's your job, is to provide that layer of value on top of the tools. How much of that you decide to take ownership of is up to you and your specific value proposition. And so what I mean by that is you could just sell, hey, here's all the tools, and here's all of these amazing campaigns that I wrote for you and landing pages I created for you. Go crazy. Let me know, if you ever need some help, right? And in that case, what I recommend that everybody do, I recommend that you do just like I'm doing here with office hours. You should have a weekly office hours. You tell your customers, hey, every Wednesday at 1 p.m., we have, members of our team available to answer all your questions and help you, and hop on and do a screen share and stuff like that. So that way they always know that there's somebody that they can go to and get some assistance. It's a super nice scalable way of providing support. Like these calls, I can have hundreds of people on here, providing support, right? And building community and all that. So,
and that's built into the price, of course, right?
Built into the price, absolutely.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right, cool.
So then, but that value proposition of what you're doing for them, you could take that all the way to full management of that system. Like, you're a pizza dude, you don't need to be doing any of this marketing stuff. I'm making sure the campaigns are working. I'm making sure everything's going out the door. When we hit Valentine's Day, I'm making sure that this special Valentine's Day pizza offer is going out 7 days before Valentine's Day on your behalf. Like, I'm owning the actual marketing process at your business for you, using my tools, using my system. It's a fantastic value proposition for a lot of businesses, because they're just like, man, I'm up to my eyeballs making pizza and delivering pizza every day. I don't have time for any of this. It doesn't even help me that you set up a perfect system for me, because I still have to do something, right? So you can take on that ownership for them. So depending on the customers that you're selling to, the value proposition that you own in the space, that's going to determine how much of that service and support you're providing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess there's a specific thing of like what I'm offering and how much I'm charging, which is something I need to update on the website and sort of be clear about with my own offer. But it sounded like that's more like a high leverage agency course where you get into that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we don't worry about that so much at the moment.
I mean, I think that you're either coming into this in one of two ways, in my experience. You're coming into this because you've got experience in an industry, a particular industry that you're going after and what you think they need and all that type of stuff. I was in the IT industry, so then I provided marketing services for IT service providers because I was very good at sales and marketing in the IT industry. So I translated that into my particular service. So you're either coming in with that kind of approach, or you're coming in where you're like, I'm getting started in this business. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. I'm trying to figure out who I want to serve, how I want to serve them. In that particular case, I really highly recommend that you jump into a high leverage agency, follow my approach, follow my general guidelines on pricing and what you're going to include and stuff like that. As you get experience, you're then going to say, you know what? I really like just working with real estate agents, and I've had some success with them. I figured out these campaigns that work for them. I'm just going all in over there, or not, so you figure that out for yourself. And we all have so much room to kind of maneuver and find our particular niche in terms of value proposition and who we're serving in the marketplace, because there's a million different ways you could skin it. So
cool. All right. So if I were to end my my trial, does that automatically update in my account on the services that scale library of courses?
Yeah, as soon as I hesitate to say the word automatically, because sometimes HighLevel's affiliate system, there can be a delay in between when you upgrade and then, or when you activate the account and when it actually triggers on our end. Usually that delay is literally at max, like, a couple of hours. But I would say most of the time it's pretty much automatic. It just happens. Okay. Sometimes there is a little bit of a delay, but it should be essentially automatic.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks, Mike. I don't want to take up any more time. Super helpful. Thank you so much for your content. It's amazing. The whole thing is amazing. Totally overwhelming and seems basically impossible, but
yeah. I mean, I think it's important for everybody to remember, like, starting a business is hard shit. there's so much around the world of entrepreneurship right now, and entrepreneurship has become, the awesome, sexy thing, and it is the awesome, sexy thing. It's just that it usually, the expectation should be for starting a business is like, I'm going to grind it out and get my hands dirty and do some things that I'm really struggling to figure out for a period of time. It's hard freaking work. So I'm here and I love what I'm doing, and I love trying to give you as much of a shortcut as humanly possible and all that good stuff. But the expectation should still be, yeah, but this is hard stuff, right? Because I hate. There's so many people out there setting the expectation right now of, oh, just buy my thing and you're going to be making 6 figures tomorrow because everything is automated, and buy the super snapshot that's just going to make money from, fall from the sky. And it's total BS. And unfortunately, it's all out there. So people get those expectations. The reality is it's hard damn work. And I love, like I said, trying to give as much of a shortcut as possible. My programs, like, in my mind, I'm trying to give you 25 years of experience and an MBA from the #1 entrepreneurship program in America. I'm trying to load that into that system in some sort of concise way that you don't go in there and just have your mind explode. Like, you can at least still try and follow along. But I feel like it's like my responsibility to try and give you as much of that as I can. But it's a lot. It's a lot. And so the mindset has got to be, I'm just diving in, both feet, going for it. I'm going to have moments of, going at the bottom, the pit of despair, and I've just got to get through the pit of despair, because that's what an entrepreneur does. Entrepreneurs get through the pit of despair. If you're not going to get through the pit of despair, get a job, because that's what jobs are great for. Your paycheck's going to come every 2 weeks, regardless of whether you're home sucking your thumb and, complaining about life. Your paycheck's still coming. As an entrepreneur, if you're going to hang out in your room and suck your thumb and complain about life, guess what? Paycheck isn't coming. So you better get through that shit fast, right? So that's, soapbox. Thank you for the opportunity.
Nice.
We'll talk to you soon. All right, let's see here. Russell, my man, how are you, sir? Oh, can't hear you. You might be on. Oh,
Nope. We're good now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it muted because I just wasn't sure how the system works while I was offline. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I actually did kind of follow Mike's lead a little bit and try to put a few things in, or no, not Mike, but the person you had on previously. Tried to put a few things into chat, so I'm going back just to try to do this as quickly as possible. So kind of apropos of what you just said, I'm trying to get selling and get into revenue as soon as possible. So if you have that super snapshot you were talking about, anyway,
the money falling from the sky one, sure.
That's the one. Anyway, so what I've done this week is I've started warming up email addresses for outbound marketing. I attended the boot camps both days, and I really enjoyed that. I put in the R4 snapshot. I know you talked just recently about how you can just go look at videos from HighLevel YouTube. I'm going to go try to do that. But I found that some of these, I don't know if they're called custom values, if that's the correct word to use exactly. But I can't find some of these things. I've looked in the custom value section. So for example, with one of the websites I pulled up, it's looking for a location.phone and a location.name and a location.email. And I think I have a lot of those things filled out in the system in terms of the actual phone number, the email, stuff like that. But I can't find those specific variables mentioned anywhere. So I don't know where we go to get that.
Well, so this is a great learning opportunity. So you're talking about my website templates that I've provided here?
Exactly right. Yes.
Okay. So if you were to find a custom value, so this is a great learning experience. And this is, and I apologize. We have updated the snapshot so many times and standardized, keeping in mind, like we learned HighLevel as well, like going along, and HighLevel learned HighLevel, right? HighLevel has been changing the system 1,000,000 miles an hour and stuff over the years. So as we're growing and learning the system and they're rolling out new features and stuff like that, we've changed and updated this so many times. So if you were to come to this website and you see right here, here's this location.phone. And that is that's a custom value right there, right? And so this location.phone, if I were to go then into, go into custom values here, and I were to not see location.phone, I could do a quick search here up in the upper right, and let's just look for phone. Okay. So the only thing that I have in here is webinar phone number. So there's a couple of things. So one, that location.phone, you could just create a new custom value to match that. So you just go right here, do no custom value, and you just call it location phone. And then you just go ahead and enter in the structure that is going to match that custom value that you were, you're looking at, right?
Okay.
So that you can then put in the value here and create that. So if you can't match it perfectly, then what you can do right here. Let's just do location phone. Oop. Okay, I'll go over here and search for phone now and see what comes up. Okay, so custom values, location _ phone. So I could take that custom value then, and I could put that in that template and put it, anywhere else that I want that phone number to be. In that particular case, though, that is, and I'll have to check with my team as to where, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one right now, as to where that one came from, because my guess is that is pulling automatically from so some custom values come pre-built into the system from HighLevel. So they're just pulling.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. They're pulling from the information that you set up for the profile of the business. So when you go and you set this up, they're pulling from, they're pulling from here. Right. So that one I would have to check and see, because I can't remember off the top of my head, like which ones are pulling automatically. But that's the other possibility. But you can, at any time, you could create a new custom value. You could, update, replace a custom value anywhere in the system. Like that's entirely up to you. Obviously, what we try to do, so let's go to marketing, and let's go to the templates in here. What we try to do is make sure that, like, if we go into the webinar here, then the custom values that we're using in here are going to be like consistent across all these emails. So, and that one's a trigger link in particular, but so you just want to make sure that if you are creating a new custom value, that it actually is consistently used throughout the system. So you just want to update it throughout. But that's, like I said, that's all like great learning experience, because this is exactly, what we do is we build a snapshot. Like we run around and create custom values and update them throughout and go, okay, where do we want this custom value used at? And that's exactly like the learning process. So,
that makes sense. I just, as you said, those things look to me like they weren't custom values, quote unquote. It looked like it was a system value that would be, at a higher level, like HighLevel set it up.
Yep.
Is there a good process to go through to find out when I see something like that? Because all the custom values seem to be custom _ value, something or the other. So if I see something that's just like location.email, is there a good way to check and see, is that in fact a HighLevel thing? Is it deprecated and maybe we just have to update it in the snapshot because they've changed it from location.email to location.email1 or whatever? Is there a way of checking this stuff?
Well, the way to check it would, you just publish something as a test. Like, so you just, publish the funnel page or the website page and just see, does it come up with a phone number in it? Where's that phone number?
Quick question there. If I'm looking at a preview, should that load in the custom values?
A preview, I'm trying to recall, does that load in the custom values? or not.
And what I mean by that is when I look at the little pages where you can like edit or whatever, there's a little button that has a square with an arrow out of it. And when I press that button, it pulls up the web page. But I don't know if it populates in the values or not.
Yeah, so let's just check here real quick because I can't recall off the top of my head. So let's go to
that. Might be the problem I'm having is that I'm looking at it as a preview and I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough yet to know how to publish the pages, so I'm not there yet.
So let me see. Let me find one that is. That one's going to be old. Let me do. Offer. And let's just look at one real quick. I just can't remember which previews at what point do they actually pull the custom values live? And do I even have custom values in here? I don't know that I'm even going to have any in here. Let's grab a custom value real quick. And give me 1 second. Yes. Huh. Sorry, I'm just finding something in my own account here that I'm like, that is not correct. I need to update that. Let's just do real quick. Let's do. And this is, I'm always question these spaces, but let's just see here. Save that. Do preview. Yeah, so that at that preview point, it did pull. Now it just took it away just because my URL forwarded, but you can see there real quick. It does pull up real quick. You'll see a flash there, Leverage Ventures Inc. 90. So that is pulling the custom value live when I test it there. So the answer is preview does appear to pull the custom values in there and show them live if they're populated.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Like I said, I'd hate it if that was the problem. Is I'm looking around trying to figure out how to fill in these custom values, and I actually did it. It just wasn't populating, so that's a good thing to know.
Yeah. Mike says I always test custom values in different web browsers, such as Opera, instead of using a real login. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I guess so as I'm waiting for email addresses to warm up and so forth, so I can start doing outreach.
Yeah.
My plan was to go into GHL's prospecting tool and just find 20 or 10 or 20 prospects that look like, hey, you need what I'm offering, and actually do personalized outreach to them. Do you feel like that's a reasonable use of time, or is it probably still really just a numbers game? And even if I personalize, trying to do 10 or 20 of these things, which will take some time, probably isn't going to be worthwhile. I know it's a hard question to answer, but do you have any experience with that?
Well, I think that there's potentially a step 1 and step 2. Step 1, if that kind of helps you get going, I think that it's great. Do I think that I would make that the start of my sales prospecting process if I was fully up to speed and running? No. I think that incorporating that into your prospecting process at some point where you've got somebody that's expressed some interest in some way or another, there's some form of life there, and then you go and you use that tool to then have another way of reaching out to them and providing some additional value and information. I think that that's great. I think that it's building too much time into the front end if it's truly cold prospecting.
Yeah, well, so I'm looking at that as like a step 1A, like while I'm warming up email addresses. So before I can really start pushing a bunch of less personalized contact out, can I reach out to a handful right away, try to get some calls set up right away? Because again, I'm just trying to get to,
I think it's
$1 and then $10K as soon as possible.
Yep. I think that's totally fine in that case. And my expectation is that HighLevel will make all of that much more automated here in the future, so that you'll just be able to incorporate that content into an automated outbound email campaign, much more easily and scalably. is what I expect that they'll be doing.
So at that point, when would you switch over from a true cold email outreach campaign that is done off of Go HighLevel and say, okay, now these folks are prospects. I'm going to bring them into HighLevel and start doing my nurturing or prospecting in HighLevel. I don't think I want, if I'm contacting hundreds of people or thousands of people a day, I don't think I want them all in HighLevel. I just want the people that are.
Yeah, when they respond with some sort of positive intent. So that could be a number of things. In that cold outbound prospecting campaigns that you're doing, you could send them to an opt-in form. You could send them to a webinar registration. You could send them to download a guide, that you've created, any of that type of stuff. So then that would all be HighLevel forms that then would be populating into HighLevel. If you are just doing like cold, like trying to get somebody into a conversation or get a response from them though, and they respond with any sign of life of, this could be something I'm interested in, then I would go ahead and put them into HighLevel.
So and that's what the call to action would be initially, is reply to this email. So any kind of positive reply. If they're not saying to F off, then bring them in. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Well, gosh, it's like drinking from a fire hose, like everybody's been saying. And I'm trying to commit to being on these things each week just to make sure I'm keeping myself accountable. So I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And everything you put out.
Being here.
I can't wait to start telling you I got Kai's problems, and I've got 7 people that have to deliver at $1,500, $1,500 a month, and I don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah,
but we'll solve that one. We'll get there too.
Yeah, you'll get there. Just keep after it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. Ryan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How can I help you, sir?
Congrats on your SaaSpreneur workshop. Looking forward to meeting you there.
Thank you. Absolutely. Looking forward to meeting everybody there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, very good. I just had a question based around, and maybe you could just talk to it, using the phone system in GHL. How do you, I have lots of clients who are interested in using it, but they don't necessarily love the idea of using a different phone number of whatever, is that always, obviously you can forward calls to their phone number and whatnot, but then I'm running ads and doing different things for them as part of our agency. And I still feel like I need to change the number on their website so that I can accurately track it, right? So that I can send it through the HighLevel number. Is there ways around that? And do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I don't think there's really any way around it. It cracks me up that businesses get hung up on this, because it's like, do you think any significant size business has one phone number?
Right.
But yeah, people really do get hung up on it. And there was a day 30 years ago when it made sense to get hung up on it, because it was actually that was the piece of information that uniquely identified you in the world, right? But it's just not the case anymore. So yeah, there's not really a good way around it.
You basically have to use that number or whatever number you create in there. For that tracking purposes, you got to use it. So, okay. Just wanted to make sure that was the case. So, yeah.
And technically you could port their existing number in most cases. I believe you could port their existing number into, you could do that with Twilio at least, into Twilio. But, it's a pain in the neck. And,
it is. But I've ported a couple numbers into different accounts for GHL, which sometimes they're a little oh, then I don't have control of my phone number because it's in your system, or, so it's just all of that control thing around their phone numbers. But
so John says, buy new phone number and forward old phone number to Go HighLevel's new phone number. But John, is that, and so I have not tried this. I've not messed around with something like that in a long time. Are you truly getting, is the functionality passing through completely, one, and two, at some point you're still making an outbound phone call using the tracking number or sending SMS using the tracking number or whatever it is. So I don't know if that actually solves the problem for the customer or not. But yeah, so I think, it's a workaround. And if they still want to have their phone number, up there, then, there's I guess there's some additional benefit to that. But hopefully it's just have a good solid conversation with the business owner and go like, hey, you know how many businesses phone numbers I know or remember or give a shit about? Like maybe 1-800 got junk because they've been promoting that number everywhere. Like, I don't know that I could think of another business's phone number.
Yeah.
So like, hopefully you can just get that, but you may never get over that and it may not be worth it to have that argument with them. And it's just like, okay, well, I guess we're just going to give up a lot of value of technology of what we could be doing to improve the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no worries. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something that I was missing. So all good. Yeah. Look, and we'll see you down there in Texas.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
All right, cool.
Justin, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, so, man, I've been following you for a while. I appreciate you. And I'm like, I already know you're going live. So I'm like, let me just ask him because even just earlier, you were showing like, I guess on the back end, but it's like, I got Go HighLevel, but I don't even know who I got it through. And, I've been following you. So I met with them like twice to try to see about like, can Mike be my affiliate? Because I'm in like his mastermind group, and they said that they couldn't do that or whatever, because the person that I originally got Go HighLevel through, Jen, she led me to you. So long story short, saying all that to say, I don't have your templates or anything because I don't have your Go HighLevel. So would it make more sense to just get Go HighLevel and start a whole new account? But then is there a way to like get that data imported?
I mean, I would hate to see you do that. I think just because I think it just causes more of a mess for you than you need. Like, so the best option from where you're at is that you just upgrade your account through me. If you upgrade your account through me, I still give you all the same bonuses and all that stuff. So it doesn't matter to me if you sign up originally with me or what level you sign up with or what upgrade you do or anything like that. Then I would still give you all the same bonuses. The other option
But what
is
if you have a 497 account already?
Yeah, then you're kind of stuck. Then you can just sign up for a high leverage agency directly and just pay for it.
Right.
And that's that's the other option. You'll get access to everything that way effectively. Those are really the two options. I mean,
that's what I was saying. It might make. So let's say I sign up for a high leverage agency. Can I get like the one account, like the 97? Like what would come with that?
I'm sorry. You're saying if you signed up for a new high level account to get access to high leverage agents? So it doesn't matter what you sign. If you sign up for anything with high level through me, you get access to all my bonuses. So it doesn't matter which plan you sign up with. So because I want you to be at the plan that's right for you. So you get all my bonuses. But in terms of you being able to do that though, like that's not the way HighLevel's affiliate program is designed to work. And so HighLevel will do their best to match your account with the original affiliate so that they're honoring that relationship. So, that's not, I guess what I can't say is, go and create extra accounts that you don't need and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm behaving properly within the high level affiliate agreement. And I can't even say that it would work for sure because technology wise, it shouldn't be too hard for them to match up your account with the existing relationship. So I would just, like I said, I would hate to see you spend too much time on something like that if it's not going to work.
Yeah, because I just, so even with earlier, like I'm like, dang, there's probably a lot of your stuff that could probably really help me right now because like everything you were saying earlier, it's like, man, I know that the season that I'm in, and just understanding that, in order to go to the next level and the next step, like you have to have all of those things in place. And I know that like I'm a part of the moguls. So I know what the content looks like. You know what I'm saying? I know the frameworks and the strategies that you have. But real quick, what would you recommend for like content creation, right? Somebody like you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Like what would be a good service for like, content creation, YouTube, like anything that you would need, right? Because like that's what I do. For the last year, I've been the media director of the brokerage that I'm a part of, because me and my wife were real estate agents as well. So we're well known in the Philly real estate industry, and like I that's all I was doing was working with realtors. So
Yeah.
but then there's the realization that may not be my target audience, and just trying to really figure out who it is that I want to serve,
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think figuring out who you really want to serve is key, right? Because the content creation has got to be driven from that. And then are you referring to creating content for you, or are you referring to offering that as like a service for your customers?
As a service.
Yeah. So I think it's a great service. Content as a service is awesome. And certainly with like ChatGPT now and all the other options out there, you can create content dramatically more easily. So depending on your particular niche, so like real estate agents, I would think one newsletter, a regular newsletter that they're sending out is a huge opportunity. And there's so many real estate agents that aren't doing anything like that. So you could absolutely easily create a newsletter on their behalf. And then there's as a customer, so I've never been in the real estate industry, but I've been a customer. I would say that there is a really big opportunity for you to help them with like reports and things like that would provide value to the potential customer that most real estate agents are just not providing any of that. So like anything about understanding new tax rules, anything about understanding new local laws that could impact the value of my real estate, anything understanding price comps in the market that I'm buying in, and how I should evaluate the price of the home or whatever that I'm looking at. Like most real estate agents I find are just not providing any value in that way. So you could create a report that could then be used essentially by a bunch of different real estate agents. And then the last thing I would say, and this is the tougher one, is I think that, well, I know my sister is in the real estate business in Florida, and she has crushed it because she creates social content that isn't here's my pretty picture and the listing of the home back here, like every other real estate agent does. She creates content with personality. She's got funny memes that are going on, and her social content shows who she is as a human being. Like she's not trying to be overly professional about it. And so her content isn't stale. And so she gets a big following of people who like her personality that end up buying homes through her. I think that that's what real estate agents, more of them, should be doing. It's hard to create that content for them because that's opposite of what I just said, that they need to create their own original content with personality. But I think that that's a coaching opportunity for you, coaching people on, here are best practices and here's ideas. Like, so you could at a bare minimum, you could put together a bunch of script templates and say, hey, this month we put together 5 new script templates that are funny, that are, they show some personality, but they're adding value too. Record these suckers, create your version of these. So that way they're still unique and they're doing the work. I think that would add a tremendous amount of value to them.
What do you think that looks like? Like a program, like a high ticket, like how can that be packaged?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that can be so the real estate industry, I think, is interesting, and I'm sure you know this much better than I do. A lot of them are broke. They're not making any money. They're not doing any sales.
And that's why, is that my, my target customer? Is that who I want to work with? You know what I'm saying? Because I know the profile.
So I think that in that industry though, there's a lot of people that are doing really well and making money too. So it's definitely like it's a pyramid. The base of that pyramid is the majority. The majority is not doing real well. But that peak of the pyramid, there's a lot of money being made and a lot of money to be spent. And those tend to be aggressive people who want coaches. They want masterminds. They want to take their lives and their businesses to the next level. So I think it's just understanding the nature of that and deciding if that's who you want to serve in the game you want to play. If you do, I would have a lot of, or it doesn't have to be a lot, but I would have a base of offers that are, like John's just saying, like the good old script template offer where it's, hey, $47 a month, you're getting in and you're getting access to all these, cool resources. You're getting my live, Wednesdays coaching call. It's just a group call though, like this. It's not one-on-one anything, but that way you can have a ton of people in. It's the whole information marketing business model. You can then have your marketing system on top of HighLevel. So you're getting all these people coming in at the 47 price point. And then you're saying, hey, if you're picking up what I'm laying down in terms of all this marketing stuff, you really have to get into to Justin's, super real estate marketing system. And that's got all these tools for you to leverage. Plus it's got all those templates and campaigns just built into it. And then from that base, hey, for those of you who are really serious about this and you're making some money, we've got our, $12,000 a year coaching package or $25,000 a year coaching package, whatever it is that you want to do. And that's going to be, the 1 to 3% of people in your customer base that are going to, put up that kind of money and can justify it because they even have the business to, support spending that kind of money. Right. So that's just the nature of that. That's just the nature of that model. I think the real estate market is so big that you can make that work for sure. I mean, goodness, there's lots of people in the real estate coaching space that are, making a lot of money. So it's an opportunity.
And I got a lot of data too. That's like warm data. It's not, it's like these people, either they scan my digital business card at an event or, it's like I feel like a spy sometimes. It's like I need to get them scans. You know what I'm saying? I need that. I need that email address.
That's awesome.
I'll show you how to fill out that form too. But it's like how that is. You always talk about it, like and now it's like I have all of that. I'm just trying to make sure I'm making the right decisions and going in the right direction. But I do have people that are around me that if I had something like that, they would be receptive to it, because then how many people they don't really want to talk about that they're not comfortable on camera or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
I mean, it solves a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Totally.
So for 47 as the low ticket, what do you think like the marketing system's price would be?
$297. I mean, I think so. I don't know that market as well as you do. My guess is that there's a lot of price sensitive people in there that are so you may even want to have something that's at the 97 range to get them started and getting used to using some of the core value proposition features. I mean, as an example, in my mind, if I was in the real estate business, just looking at the competition that's out there and seeing the way that they operate, if you just set them up with an SMS number that they were actively using and promoting that number, hey, text me anytime if I can help you with X, Y, and Z, or text me to get my latest report on such and such thing, that anybody in the real estate space that just took that approach proactively of marketing that number, and then you set them up in the conversations tab with some good templates to be able to respond to that stuff, and then integrated into all their social profiles too, so that anywhere anybody's messaging them or emailing them, it's all in there. So they're actually following up with those people. That alone would differentiate you from probably 90% of real estate agents. Because in my experience, 90% of real estate agents are not professional.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about HighLevel, right? Is like you just hook it up and like it just does its thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And your phone starts ringing. And that's my wife. She's a new agent, and I just here's your account. She got the email. She set up her account, and then now it's like she's like the phone's just ringing. you know. So yeah, HighLevel is amazing. So no, you're absolutely right. It's yeah.
Yeah. So if I was in that space, I would be like, I would teach real estate agents how to market that number. And so use the reports, use whatever it is, and say, hey, get the latest report on comps in your market and the latest updates on some city council things that are impacting real estate prices in the neighborhood that you're thinking about buying, right? Like that type of thing. Text this number and I'll send you over the report. So you just create a little autoresponder. Now you've got their phone number. You can do a couple little follow-up messages automatically to get the person's name and get their email, whatever. But you got their phone number. And in the real estate market, man, I want that phone number. I want to be able to shoot people a quick text. Hey, you still looking for a home? What neighborhoods you looking at? I got some new properties that are available. Come and check them out. Like that text is so powerful. So I would just create, there's probably 25 cool little short text templates that you could load in for them and be like, look, once a week, send this message out to, everybody in your market. And then next week, send out this different message, and shoot them this report, right. It's just like, to me, it's just a
and kind of set that obvious up, opportunity. Like set it up for them.
Yeah. Just set it up for them. And just, that's, so I think as a $97 value proposition, that's killer. And then you could have a $297 for the people who are like, man, I'm seeing the success. Now I want the review capture. Now I want the website. Now I want the, whatever. Take it to the next level.
Right. Yo, Mike, I appreciate you, man. I
appreciate
man.
You too. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Justin. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Take care. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to answer a couple more things. I know that I had to skip over. I'm sorry because I was technical difficulties. Let's see here. I love that, Mike, that we solved that problem right away. That's awesome, man. And Michelle says, where can we find local SMB owner avatar cheat sheet? Inside of almost all the problems. So if you go into the first sections of High Leverage Agency, Michelle, or in R4 or whatever, I've got a training in there where you go through determining your niche and your avatar and stuff like that. So you should find that in there. Okay. And then how could we have access to a white label local directory builder? There are some really established ones out there. Hold on here. Somebody probably on this call knows the name. That there are some, Brilliant Directories. Brilliant Directories is a very well-known one. And they, I'm sure, have plenty of competition, but I know that there are a lot of people that speak highly of this system right here. So I would check out that. I know a lot of people who use that. Habib says, Mike, my question is about the foot in the door snapshots. Are they designed for our agency sales process use or to be used to create customer sub accounts for them to use? Habib, depending on the foot in the door, both. So, but for sure, they are meant for you to use to market your agency. So they're absolutely their sales and marketing resources. And then depending on the particular snapshot or foot in the door, again, there could be service delivery side of that too. And the reason why in some cases there aren't is because the service is not anything that necessarily needs a snapshot, or it's something that's got to be set up custom by you. So it's just it depends. Was the boot camp recorded? Yes, absolutely. It's inside of the Moguls membership area. You have you should have been automatically assigned product access if you're a Moguls member. So if you did not get that, and you should have gotten that, just email help@servicesatscale.com and we will make sure and get you access. Okay. Let's see here. I know, right? What phone numbers does anybody use anyway? Exactly. Or remember anyway. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate you, my man. Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. WP Gateway has a good one. I'm assuming we're talking about directories. And you bet, Habib. Absolutely. Awesome. Let's see here. Here's a great book I'm reading that's top notch, especially for business owners. Hidden Potential: The Science of Achieving Great Things by Adam Grant. Cool, Mike. Thank you. Always looking for a new book. Although you should see the stack of books. I'm a book. I like books. I have 3 stacks that are, that high sitting next to my bed right now of books I'm working my way through. All right, everybody. I got to wrap it up here. I got some other stuff we got to get to, as I'm sure you do as well. Thank you so much, as always, for being a part of my community. Thank you for your business. Thank you for attending the call and giving me your attention. I hope you got some value out of it. I apologize for the technical difficulties today. I'm glad that we got through that. And have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, great weekend. This is ski season for me. I'm a big skier, and so I've got some trips planned. So you will see that our office hours schedule here going forward over the next handful of weeks is variable. There's going to be stuff moving around. So as an example, and it's not on my calendar. Next week, I believe we will have our office hours call on Wednesday. The following week, we will have our office hours call on Wednesday. And that is because I'm traveling Thursdays and Fridays and stuff like that. So please just be on the lookout for that. And then and then hopefully you can still join me on Wednesdays. I want to make sure we're still having the calls. I'm just kind of moving them around so that I'm not, on a plane or whatever trying to do office hours with you guys. So otherwise, you can access me in the community and on our Facebook group, although I honestly am not, I don't spend too much time there at all. So in our circle community is best if you can join me there and on these calls. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.